Welcome to our deep dive, everyone. Welcome to our deep dive into the V75 races at Axevalla on New Year's Eve.
It's always a thrilling day at the track.
Especially with those big holiday jackpots on the line.
Exactly.
We're going to go race by race.
Break down the favorites, the main challenger.
And of course, those long shot contenders that could really spice things up.
You know, Axevalla is famous for its upsets.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
It's New Year's Eve.
Everyone's feeling festive.
Maybe a little bit more willing to take a chance.
Absolutely. So let's dive right in.
Sounds good.
First up, V75-1.
A 1640-meter vault start.
And right off the bat, things get interesting.
There's some real debate about who the favorite should be in this one.
Oh, okay.
Peanut, starting from position 6,
Yeah, Peanut.
has generated a lot of buzz, you know?
Makes sense. Good starting position.
Debut for a winning trainer?
So you'd think it's a recipe for success, right?
You would think so.
But
here's where it gets tricky.
okay, I'm intrigued. What's the catch?
Well, Peanut is a 3-year-old facing older, more experienced horses. And that fantastic starting position.
Yeah, position 6.
It could actually be a double-edged sword.
How so?
It might tempt the driver to push for the lead early on, which could drain Peanut's energy.
And leave him vulnerable later in the race.
Exactly.
It's a case of too much of a good thing.
You could say that.
What about Sweet Day, starting from position 13?
Sweet Day has been looking good, coming off a win after a break.
Oh, that's good.
Loves the Axevalla track.
Always a plus.
And has tackled tougher competition in the past. Impressive. But that starting position in a vault start.
Yeah, 13 is tough.
It's a tough one to overcome.
So what does this all mean for our listener?
Good question.
What should they be thinking about with this first race?
This is a race to spread your bets.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Don't go all in on any single horse.
Okay?
Peanut might have the early speed, but can he sustain it?
Right.
Sweet Day has the experience and track record.
Yeah. Sweet Day has been there.
But can he make up that ground from behind?
Good point. And we can't forget about Donna Inez starting from position 1.
Oh, that's right. Donna Inez.
She could be a factor.
She's been in solid form, is a fast starter.
And the distance suits her.
1,640 meters, right in her wheelhouse.
If you're looking for a potential upset, Donna Inez could be your horse.
I agree.
Okay, so we've got a wide open race to kick things off.
Always exciting.
Now let's talk about V75-2.
This one is going long.
340 meters.
A real test of stamina.
For many of these horses, it's their first time tackling a distance like this.
Exactly. We need to look for horses who are known to be strong finishers.
Those who can maintain a consistent pace.
And have that extra gear when they need it.
Pac-Man, starting from position 10, seems to be a popular pick in this one.
And for good reason.
He's been on a roll.
2 wins in a row.
Seems to be comfortable at any distance.
He definitely fits the bill of a strong, consistent racer.
But could this be the distance where he finally meets his match?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Who could challenge him?
Global Emperor, starting from position 8.
Okay, Global Emperor, tell me more.
This is a horse with incredible stamina.
Built for the long haul.
Absolutely. The longer the distance, the more he seems to thrive.
Like he's just getting warmed up.
Exactly. It's almost as if he gets stronger as the race goes on.
Now, this might sound like a silly question.
Go ahead.
Does the way a horse moves, their gait, actually affect how much energy they use over longer distances?
It absolutely does. Some horses have a more efficient gait,
So they can conserve energy.
which is crucial in these longer races.
Makes sense.
They might not have that flashy early speed.
But they're the ones who are still going strong when others start to fade.
Exactly.
So with Global Emperor,
Yeah.
are we talking about a horse who has that kind of energy-efficient gait?
That's one of the factors that makes him so dangerous in this race.
I see.
He's not just strong, he's also incredibly efficient.
So he could be a real threat to Pac-Man's dominance.
A real threat.
This is why I love these deep dives.
What's that?
You learn something new every time.
Every time.
Okay, we've got those 2 powerhouses.
Pac-Man and Global Emperor.
Anyone else we should be watching in this race?
Well, Young, starting from position 4, is undefeated with his new trainer
Interesting.
and has shown a liking for longer distances.
So he could be a factor.
He could be, and then there's Nashkeeper,
Starting from position 5.
who had a fantastic burst of speed in his last race.
He might be a long shot.
He might be, but with those good odds,
He could be worth a small bet.
worth considering.
So in V75-2,
A real clash of the Titans.
Pac-Man, the consistent champion, versus Global Emperor, the endurance king. And don't count out those potential spoilers like Young and Nashkeeper.
It's going to be an exciting race to watch.
Now let's move on to V75-3. a 2140-meter auto start.
Okay, V75-3.
Where we have a clearer favorite, Global Flashback, starting from position 6.
Global Flashback.
He dominated in his debut for a new trainer.
Led from start to finish, huh?
But here's the thing. He's still relatively inexperienced.
That's a good point.
Can he handle the pressure of being the favorite?
In a race like this.
You're making me think twice about betting on him now.
Well, it's something to consider.
Who are the challengers who could capitalize if Global Flashback falters?
Valla de Campbell, starting from position 7.
Good Campbell, okay.
He's a real force to be reckoned with.
Been in top form.
Yes, and loves to race aggressively.
Pushing the pace from the start.
That's his style.
But isn't there a risk with that kind of aggressive approach?
There's always a risk.
Could he burn himself out too early?
That's the big question mark.
So he's a bit of a wild card.
You could say that.
He has the potential to win.
But he also has the potential to make a mistake.
It all depends on how the race unfolds.
And whether the driver can keep him under control.
So, in this race, it seems like we have a classic battle between youthful exuberance and seasoned experience.
Interesting matchup.
Global Flashback, the young gun with a lot to prove, versus Valla de Campbell, the veteran who knows how to win but might be prone to risky moves.
What a matchup. It's a race that could go either way.
Which makes it all the more exciting.
Absolutely.
All right, on to V75-4.
Another Volt start.
And we're back to a Volt start.
Yep.
The favorite here is Nepenthe Boko, starting from the coveted position 1.
The inside track.
And she loves to lead.
All of her wins have come from setting the pace.
Controlling the race.
That inside starting position gives her a huge advantage.
But you know what they say about harness racing?
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Exactly.
Who are the contenders that could spoil Nepenthe Boko's party?
Well, Princess of Divine,
starting from position 2,
has been facing tougher competition.
So this might feel a bit easier for her.
It might if she can stay close to Nepenthe Boko early on.
She could be a threat in the final stretch.
I'd say so.
So what should our listener be looking for in this race?
What are the key factors that will determine the outcome?
It all comes down to the early stages of the race.
If Nepenthe Boko can secure an easy lead, she's very hard to beat.
But if there's a battle for the lead,
if she gets pushed early on,
that opens the door for Princess of Divine to make a move.
That's right.
This is why I love Volt starts. They add so much unpredictability to the race.
It's not just about speed.
It's about strategy and positioning.
Exactly. You have to think about how the race will unfold, how the different horses and drivers will approach those first few hundred meters.
It's like a game of chess on the racetrack.
A very fast-paced game of chess.
Okay, we're 4 races in, and we've already got some exciting matchups and potential upsets brewing.
It's shaping up to be a great day at Axevalla.
Let's move on to V75-5.
Ready for the next set of races.
Oh yeah, always.
We're going to uncover those hidden gems. That could lead to a big New Year's Eve celebration.
A big celebration, I like it.
All right, so V75-5.
2140-meter auto start.
Stepping Dream Boy, starting from position 2.
He's the favorite.
He is, but he lost from the lead last time.
Oh, so maybe a little vulnerable.
Could be.
What about the rest of the field?
This race is a real head-scratcher.
How so?
It's packed with horses who have faced tougher competition, but they haven't quite lived up to expectations.
So underachievers.
You could say that.
Like a field of underdogs.
All looking for their chance to shine.
So should we be looking for value bets here?
Absolutely. This is a race where you could find some real value bets.
Okay, give me some names.
Horses like No Talking You, starting from position 4.
Okay.
He won his comeback race.
That's a good sign.
And Narita, starting from position 7.
Yeah.
She actually beat Stepping Dream Boy last time out.
Wow. Okay, so she's beaten the favorite before.
She has.
So they might not have the flashiest records?
No, not necessarily.
But they have the potential to surprise.
They do. They could be those athletes who just need the right environment. You know?
The right competition.
Exactly. To really unlock their abilities.
Maybe this is their moment.
Oh, could be. Could be.
Any other potential dark horses we should be watching in this race?
Amazing Hazel, starting from position 9.
Amazing Hazel.
Had a strong finish in her last race.
So she could be a factor.
At good odds, yeah.
This is a horse who seems to be improving with every race.
It seems that way.
So don't be surprised if she makes a late move.
I wouldn't be.
Local hope Ben Hogan, number 11, won a big race recently.
Interesting.
And they've added a bike, could be a factor.
We'll see how that plays out.
Okay, so in this race, the message is clear.
No.
Don't be afraid to look past the favorite.
There are plenty of contenders waiting to make their mark.
Plenty of contenders. All right, let's move on to V75-6.
Another 2140-meter auto start.
And this one has even the experts baffled.
It's a field of talented horses,
But
but it's hard to decipher who's in top form right now.
so it could really go any which way.
It really could.
So how do we even begin to make sense of this race? Where do we start?
We have to look for those subtle clues,
So clues.
those hints of form and potential
Okay.
that might give us an edge.
Okay, I'm listening.
Horses like Monaco.
Starting from position 5.
He's been on a break,
A little rest.
but is supposedly ready to go.
Ready to go. Okay.
And ID Hipster 1, starting from position 9.
ID Hipster 1. Yep.
He's been steadily improving,
That's good.
but has a less than ideal starting position.
So we have one who's rested, but maybe a little rusty, and one who's in form, but has a tough starting position.
That's right.
It's like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. And then we have my great pretender.
Starting all the way out in position 15.
15. Wow. He's got his work cut out for him.
He does.
He's been facing much tougher competition.
That's true.
Could this be his chance to shine?
It's certainly possible.
If he can overcome that starting position,
And find a good racing lane.
he could be a factor?
He could, but remember,
Yeah.
with a starting position like that, he's going to need some racing luck on his side.
He needs everything to go right.
Pretty much.
This is another race where spreading your bets might be the wisest strategy.
I think so.
It's just too hard to predict with any certainty.
Way too many variables.
Okay, now it's time for the grand finale.
The Sylvester Loppet.
V75-7.
And we've got a heavy favorite.
High on pepper.
Starting from position 15.
Another tough starting position.
It is.
But he won this race last year,
He did, and he's a proven champion.
so he knows how to win.
When he's on his game, he's practically unbeatable.
But I'm sensing a but coming.
There's always a but in harness racing.
So what's the but with High on Pepper?
He didn't look his sharpest in his last race.
Maybe a little off form.
And starting from position 15 in a volt start is never easy.
It's a tough ask.
It is.
So even with a champion like High on Pepper, there's room for doubt.
There's always room for doubt, especially in a volt start.
Why is that?
Well, it's a race format that can really shake things up.
How so?
Horses can get tangled up at the start.
Yeah.
They can break stride. They can lose precious ground.
It's not just about speed then.
It's about navigating the chaos.
So who are the contenders that could capitalize if High on Pepper falters?
Connors Brolin,
Starting from position 3.
he's a serious challenger.
Okay. Connors Brolin, I'll keep an eye on him.
He's in good form.
And if he can get a clear run at the leader,
He could pull off an upset.
I like it. What about Frankie Bahia?
Starting from position 4,
Frankie Bahia, yeah, what about him?
he's a horse with tons of potential,
Sounds promising.
but he's also known for being a bit inconsistent.
Bit of a wild card.
If he stays focused and avoids making any mistakes, he could be a factor.
A big if.
A big if.
Okay, so even in the Sylvester Loppet, where we have a dominant favorite,
There's potential for surprises.
this is Axevalla after all. Now, we've gone through each race, highlighting the favorites, the challengers, and those long shot contenders.
We've covered a lot of ground.
What are some key takeaways for our listener as they head into this New Year's Eve V75 card?
Well, remember, Axevalla is known for its unpredictable nature.
Right, anything can happen.
Those long shots.
That underdogs.
Those horses that might seem like a gamble. They often come through and deliver those big payouts.
So don't be afraid to take a chance.
Don't be afraid to take a chance.
We've covered a lot of ground today. All right, as we wrap up our deep dive,
Any final words of wisdom?
for our listener, as they head into this New Year's Eve V75 card at Axevalla,
First, do your homework.
look beyond just the favorites.
Check the recent form of each horse.
Consider the drivers, the starting positions,
And of course, the weather conditions.
and don't be afraid to think outside the box.
Those long shot bets.
Can be the most rewarding,
Especially at Axevalla.
where surprises are always around the corner.
Always.
Most importantly,
Have fun.
harness racing is a thrilling sport.
And the V75 on New Year's Eve is always a special event.
Enjoy the races.
And may your bets be lucky.
Yeah, that's it for our deep dive into the V75 races at Axevalla.
We hope you enjoyed it,
We hope you learned a thing or two
and maybe even picked up some strategies.
that will lead to a big New Year's Eve win.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.